20 minutes.
Hey, Jen, how are
Katie,
you?
Happy New Year.
Okay, so yeah, we're coming on because I know you guys are all going, okay, you guys have lost your freaking mind. New Year's Day was January 1st, obviously, but not every culture is like us where, the New Year starts on January 1. Like, the Chinese New Year starts today, and some of these cultures that are more maybe in tune to like the natural rhythms of, the five elements and the cycles of the earth and whatnot, they realize that the new year didn't start until today, and that's because cosmically the very first initiating start codon in our DNA and any of your DNA, like the capital to the sentence, is the 41st codon, and that is the gate that we entered today, that the sun entered today, and that is the gate of imagination. It's like new beginnings, like let's go, let's do this. And so what have you felt it today? Do you feel a little like this kind of creative juicy energy?
It's funny because when we talk about the 41, and we're talking really about the codons, but we're also talking about the I Ching. And the I Ching in the gate 41, it's contraction and fantasy. So it's this pulling back to collect your thoughts about what can possibly we feel or experience or sense. And I did make a list of my top 10, and I do it every year, um, between January 1st and kind of today, to go,
Yeah.
what can I imagine? What can I write down? And plus, we added the new moon to it, which was last night. Do you remember? Which is the moon that's closest for 1,000 years.
Yeah, say it again, because I didn't even know that until yesterday, and I'm like, why aren't we hearing more about this? This is kind of a big deal. Go
It's
ahead.
kind of a big deal because it's okay. We can't see the new moon. It's 2 weeks after the full moon or before the full moon. So you can't see it. It's shadowed by the earth, but it's there. And this is the closest the moon is going to be for, it was since 1036. And
Mhm.
then again, like 800 years, this is the closest the moon is going to be. So if we're
And
70 or
and the
80%
sign of
water
Aquarius
in the sign of Aquarius,
just entered Aquarius, energy space. And so it's like kind of like extra amplified because we are ultimately, as a like collective, entering into the age of Aquarius, which is, like going to span several hundred years. So Aquarius is very forward thinking, forward, motion, future orientated. And so to have that, the strongest, kind of magnetism, if you think of the moon and you think of how magnetic the moon is with the ocean tides, and our bodies are 80% water. So this stuff, it really does kind of influence us. And so the strongest, magnetism of that forward motion, like dream big, is what we're saying. That's what we're coming on today to say. I mean,
it's true, Katie. Yeah, someone said, I did a little meditation this morning. It was a Kabbalistic astrology thing. And they said, what do you want? What do you want? About 100 times. And there's this asking of your soul, what do you want? Not, well, I totally want money, but blah, blah, blah. What does your soul want to experience and sense and desire? And there's truth there. I don't know, write it down. It's a really good time to write it down. We have kind of 5 days for 41 is in the sun.
so this whole week, let that be on the forefront of your mind. And what's funny is, because these are just natural rhythms that are kind of, frequencies, whatever happening in our field, it's like what the power is becoming more self-aware as the outward, things have just been, kind of crazy and chaotic for a couple years now. It doesn't look like things are letting up anytime soon. There's going to continue to be a lot of change, and I think we are all realizing how key, learning ways to adapt, to be resilient, to be able to kind of ride these waves and still maintain that level of inner peace. Kitty's saying hi. Um,
I
And
love it.
that is about, really that increasing your level of awareness, of self-awareness of yourself. Like you said, like just this week, now when you're going through your week, pay attention and just see how many opportunities you notice now that we're talking about this of like, oh, wow, there's an opportunity for me to really get creative and kind of just like throw anything out there, use my imagination, like what is possible, or like you were saying, like kind of go inward and get
Go
more
in.
with what it is that really lights you up, instead
Mhm.
of letting, like, your surroundings, your friends, your boss, or whoever tell you, like this is how it should be, this is what you need to, see, this is how you need to see things. It's like, no, what is your body telling you? What is your intuition telling you?
What is your adrenaline? Because that 41's on the fuel, on the route. So, what is your urge for life? Your urge for experience? What is it that you want? It's not to do, but it's to experience. So, some people may experience that in books or in movies, or I just want to experience. Some people really, with that 41, though, it is about actually getting in and feeling it and getting your, body in it.
And speaking of that, we just so you know, like we always look at, okay, where is the sun? Because that's 70% really of, kind of like the energy influencing us at any given time. It's in that 41st gate of imagination. Where is the earth? Because, when you think about it, those are the two probably most influential, directly connected planets to us. And the earth this week is in the 31st gate, which is the gate of influence. It's the gate of leadership. Again,
Mm.
it's another kind of initiating energy, to like be open to when you are getting, some creative ideas this week. Like you said, like you're making your list, just, have a piece of paper out. So, something pops into your head, you can just kind of write it down. And then being open to these opportunities that might present themselves, or where you can share what, came into your field this week. And you never know how that could influence other people. Just you telling us about this beautiful list that you're not even calling New Year's resolutions, but it kind of in a way is this list of, kind of what you want to feel into and experience this year. So it's like perfectly aligned, and it's like when you have this kind of awareness of what's happening with the energy, it's like a little superpower, right? It gives you like that non-judgmental way of like, then when something happens in my field this week, I don't hyper react, overreact, judge it. I'm just like, oh, of course this is showing up this week. Like, of course, that
Yeah, perfect.
makes sense. Right on time.
I love that. That lets you, not react, but respond to it. Or it lets you add some more awareness to it and pause just a little bit longer so that, and feel. We're really here to feel into what's true for each one of us. But when we know the weather of the planets and the stars, we know it, but we know it and we know it, we can feel it in our body, then we get a better opportunity to ride those things instead of be a victim of those things.
Well said. That's what that resiliency and that adaptability and all of that self-empowerment, it really does stem from going inward, spending some time to really increase your level of awareness about yourself, about your strengths, about your vulnerabilities, and then that way you get out of that judgment and you can just flow through life, right? With more grace and more ease and all the good words that we all want more of.
That's right. That's right. As we include our dark, because we're not all just love and light. Wherever there's light, there's equal dark. So how can we embrace that, notice that, hold it close, work on it? I mean, I just, me and Katie, I think that's why we're here.
Absolutely. No. And yeah, give yourself grace. That's where I'm coming at with the non-judgment. It's the same thing. We're just saying it different ways because
Yeah.
again, it comes back to putting yourself first, right? Seeing yourself in your, full potential and like your pureness. And then
Yeah.
others can see you, but they're not going to be able to see you if you're all smudged up and cloudy.
If
So
you can't see you, they can't really see you.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. I know. You guys make a list. Make your list. I thought I was going to show you mine, but I don't have it right here.
Okay, well, next time then we want to see your list. You're
You know what? It always starts with love. It always, number one is always love. Then it's
That
like self-love, you know, love of connection, love of the space between, love of friends, to really be able to I don't know, have that at the top, at the forefront, right here in the frontal cortex. And I always put it on my bulletin board where I can see it almost every day and just check in.
your list.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Girl, I love you, Katie.
See, it's just a love fest over here.
It
Love
is, you
girl.
guys. Tell us what you're doing. If you guys are watching this, like put in a little thing about not, you don't have to give us your list, but just give us your thoughts on how your new year might play out or how you're feeling about it.
Yeah, and don't beat yourself up if you already screwed up on the resolutions that you created 2 weeks ago, because it really was not the right timing. Everything is about right timing. So
Everything's about right timing.
yeah, yeah, and tuning in. When you tune in, then your intuition never leads you wrong, right? And that's, I think, what we have lost track of.
Yeah, yeah, our connection to nature and our connection to our own inner guidance. Well, it's time to get it back, isn't it?
That's right. That's what we're here for. We're coming on once a week or so, and we will just talk all things in that direction. We are in this together, and we love you. We will see you guys next time. Bye
Happy
for
New Year.